Hey everyone, this is Melanie and welcome to my first video for Bramble Fox Design Team. Today I'm going to be using the September Fox box, which has these adorable craft related perspectives and items. I'm going to be using the one word that says genuine along with paper snips number 009. I'm also going to be using the July Hip Kit Club papers for this. Make sure you start out by taking the clear covering backing off of your perspective. It's on the front or the back, sometimes both. So make sure you remove that off of there. I started out with some small 2x2 pictures and I went ahead and backed them with some pattern paper. And then I took some of the fabric pennants that were in the kit and I'm going to cut them and make a banner. There were some little wood sticks in the Hip Kit papers and I'm going to use those along the side once I get my photos arranged. I was trying to arrange them around the images of the cactus on the page. I had been in Texas recently with two of my best friends at a scrapbooking retreat, and we did all the things on the way there, while we were there, and on the way back. So I'm just going to get this settled. I'm going to take a little bit of ground espresso and just rub it along the sticks just to give them a little more of the color of the cactus to make them kind of blend in the page a little bit. And I'm going to use just some Scott's Tacky Glue to adhere those down to my paper. And I will use my T-square ruler here in a second to make sure that I get those somewhat straight on the page. I've been known to make things kind of crooked. So we're going to get those down, and I went ahead and pulled some ephemera from the June Hip Kit that I'm going to use. I pulled just some things that matched our pictures and what we were doing. So I'm going to add those on there. We were at the Junk Gypsy in Round Top, Texas, visiting and shopping and taking pictures. So I have those down. And I'm going to speed up through this because it took me a while to make my banner, but I'm going to speed up through there so y'all don't have to watch all of this. But I do take the banner and I glue some pieces down flat and some pieces with the pop dots behind it to give it some dimension. So I should speed up past that in just a second, and then we'll get on to where I add other things to it. There we go. So we're getting most of it down here. And then after I get the main pieces down, then I'm going to go in and add in some of the elements from the ephemera pack just to give it more depth in the banner, because I don't want the banner to be empty. I want it to be more full looking. So I'm almost through doing this part, I think. Maybe not. Maybe I didn't speed it up as much as I thought I did. I love these. They're fabric. These little pennants are fabric, and I just kind of distress the edges of them a little bit just to make them look more worn, I guess, textured. And I do add in a couple of pieces of the pattern paper I cut into some little pennant shapes as well to add in a few little empty spaces that were in there. There's some of the pattern paper there. I just cut it about an inch and cut the little tails in the end of it. And I'll add those into it along with, in a minute, some hearts and things just to fill in some of the empty spots. I loved this background paper. It's just kind of ombre, and it really matched what this crown that we were standing in front of. So we're going to be through with this banner in just a second. We're just adding the last few touches on it here. I think that took me longer than the whole layout did, was to get the banner made. So just the final few pieces. And there's tiny little hearts that were in there. They're off to the left of my page right there. I'm going to add in some of those tiny hearts just to make it fit in. Now I'm going to take this title, Besties, which was in the hip kit. And then, of course, the genuine is part of the Bramble Fox box. There's also a new box that they're doing now. It's called the Fox Box Plus, and you get the perspectives, you get a paper snips, you get a stencil, and you get these new little things that's in there. They're called epoxy flare, and they're these round little 1-inch epoxy pieces that are perfect to cut out a round piece of a 1-inch circle and mount them on top of it, and you've made your own shiny flare. They're so cute. So here I'm adding in the final pieces on the banner. We've got the title down. I love that genuine. I love these perspectives. They're so fun to use, and they glue down so nicely. Use wet glue on them for sure. I use wet glue. A lot of people use glossy accents. I use the Scott's Tacky Glue. So here I pulled out one of the it's cowboy hat. I'm trying to decide where it needs to go, and I end up sticking it back there just because it was cute and we were in Texas and I want to use all those things. And then I'm going to add a few more little pieces down at the bottom. I'm adding some of the flowers. Some were, I think, chipboard and some were just paper. Making sure I have everything glued down. And then next I'm going to get out in just a second still adding some little pieces to that. Then I'm going to get the paper snips. That's the Paper Snips 009, and it's got some really cute words. And I end up cutting the strips, all the word strips, and I end up using the white strip that says right here, right now, a black one that says wander, and then a white one that says sightseeing. And I end up putting those to the right of the bottom picture is where I'll stick those at in a minute. It is full of cute little words, travels, things with friends. I'm going to use those a lot. So here I found a few more little things I want to stick up in there. I think I was adding a little, just kind of like a little westerny design piece. Now I've decided that I want some color up at the top, so I'm going to scoop out a piece of the top, and then I'm going to add a piece of some striped pattern paper. I'm going to distress it a little bit. I'm going to add in a piece of pattern paper behind there. And you're not going to be able to tell, but I cut it almost a little too short. So I go in a minute and fix it with a little square piece of paper. I'm trying to decide which colors I want to show. I love to make those little scoop outs to make a little peekaboo pattern up at the top. It just kind of breaks up your page where it's just not this solid, this single square piece. If you look real close, you can see that top left, it didn't cover all the way. So I'm going to go cut a piece of pale pink and stick behind there, and you'll never know that it was missing. There, I glued it in and you won't know. Just adding a little bit more glue there and roughing up my edges. And we are almost done. Going to add a few little pieces up there. That's a cow skull. I'm going to add it. I'm going to add another little yellowy flower and 2 hearts popped up there. And then we're going to be getting close to being through with this. This has really been a fun layout to make. Again, I'm using the September Fox Box Perspectives and the paper snips that are in this one. I don't remember what I'm adding in here. Oh, I'm popping the skull up, and then I'll add the little hearts to the side of it. And yeah, I couldn't decide what I wanted there. Ended up putting it to the left. I'm going to pop one up and put one flat. Roughing up a little of the edges. Now I'm going to take the string. I'm just taking a piece of yellow. It's a yellow and white twine. And I'm just going to tie knots in each end and tuck it around and in and up and down so it's not a straight piece. Just where it's kind of haphazardly hanging across the banner. And I'm just going to use a little bit of wet glue there. And I tie the knot in the first end on the left, and then I glue the right end down, and I kind of fake it. I make a knot and glue it on top of that. So I'm not trying to tie a knot in the end of that piece. if that makes sense. Just going to get that secured. Again, that's just some Scotch tacky glue and a little fine liner bottle. I fill it up, and I've used that bottle for a while. I'm having trouble getting that piece to stick down. I'm just going to make my little knot there, and it's going to be like I'm faking it. Once you look at it, you'll never know that I didn't tie that on there at the time. Not that it matters. I'm going to add a few more little things down at the bottom just to finish it off. Add a little boot over to the right. Those boots are so cute, and they have flowers. Here's my finished layout. I thank you so much for watching today. I hope you've enjoyed it. I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel. Leave me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. And be sure and follow Bramble Fox on Instagram and Facebook. And this is the picture of the Fox Box. And then the next is going to be the Fox Box Plus. This is the September one. And I thank you so much for watching. I will see you again soon. You can follow me on Instagram. It's at Melanie Hyatt. And again, leave me any questions in the comments below, and I will link the products that I used. And I can't wait to create with you again soon. Bye-bye.